Hi, my name is Kimberly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe. And today we're going to be discussing the difference between weaves and U-part wigs. If you want to learn more, stay tuned. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to make this YouTube video comparing U-part wigs to weaves is that I wore both, and I think that a lot of people are kind of struggling with trying to decide, well, should I get a weave, should I make a U-part wig? Because kind of once you do one and you like cut and style your hair to that specific way of wearing it, it kind of leaves you to only use that option for a while. So I think you definitely should watch this video. Watch more videos about weaves and U-part wigs in general. That way you'll be able to pick which one is best for you. So first I want to start by discussing the first type of hair extensions I personally started wearing, weaves. Okay, so I quickly just want to go over some of the pros of weaves. I have my little notes here, so I'll be looking down just so I don't miss anything. One of the pros of weaves is that they're really secure. So if you have an active lifestyle, hiking, skydiving, doing some kind of activity where you need a hair extension that is not going to go anywhere, weaves would be your best option. They're secure, they're sewn down to your braids, and if they're done correctly, you shouldn't have any issues with them moving or budging or causing any movement and not being secure. A weave is going to be stuck to your braids on your head, and it's not going to go anywhere, which is one of the benefits of weave, which is why you're also able to easily pull it up, do different styles, because it is secure and not going anywhere. Another benefit of weaves are that they can last 6 to 8 weeks. 8 weeks might be a little long, but 6 weeks definitely. If you're going on vacation, if you're going away, or if there's just some situation where you're like, I just want to protective style my hair and have it away for a couple weeks, a weave can definitely last you for 6 weeks. So that's one of the pros of having this type of hairstyle. It's easier for an active lifestyle. I say that just because if you do work out and you have either relaxed hair or natural hair, relaxed hair, I know when I work out and my hair is out, it becomes very sweaty, limp, and straight, and it's very hard to manage after my workouts. Same thing for natural hair. If you do straighten it, or if you want to wear a straight style but then you start to work out, sometimes you might have issues with reversion or just trying to get your style back to how it originally looked before you started working out. But with weaves, if you buy straight hair, work out and live your life, the weave is going to stay straight. If you put curls in it, sometimes the curls will last up to 1 or 2 weeks, so you don't have to constantly curl it, and it just gives you that versatility of style that wearing hair extensions can give you. But with weaves, it's just a little bit more permanent for the time being because it's going to stay to your head. Okay, so although there are many great aspects of wearing weaves, now we have to get to the bad part, the cons. So one of the negative things about wearing weaves is that you can't access your hair. So even though your hair is protected for those 6 weeks and it's gone, you can't see if maybe your scalp's having a negative reaction to products you're using, if your hair's breaking off, if your hair is dry and just needs that deep condition after 2 weeks. With the weave, you kind of can't do that. Some people might have the time and resources to be able to get a weave every 2 weeks, but most people don't. So in terms of checking on the condition of your hair, it's really hard to do with the weave, and that's really one of the bad aspects. You want to be able to every 2 weeks see your hair. What is it happening with it? Is it growing? Is it shedding? Is it breaking? Is it dry? Does it need moisture? Does it need protein? You really want to be able to analyze your hair every 2 weeks. So with the weave style, you can't do that, which is unfortunately what leads to a lot of people who do wear weaves having so much damage to their hair. And by the time they realize it, it's really extensive because their hair has been in a weave for 6 weeks. So now that you're taking it out, you're seeing all this fallout, all this breakage, and now you're kind of like, okay, well, it's really bad. Whereas if you would have had a hairstyle where it only lasted 2 weeks, you probably could have caught that before it became such a problem. Another disadvantage to wearing weaves is that you have to pay over and over again to get it done. Now, some people, if you have like a hookup or a family member or you do it yourself, then this won't be an issue. But if you're like how I was and you have to go to the hair salon to get it done, every time you get a weave, it costs $125 to $175. You multiply that once a month, that really starts to add up. And that doesn't include the price of the hair. So all that money that you're spending for the service, I mean, yes, you're getting a quality weave done and now you look great and amazing. You're getting all these compliments from your friend. But that's $175 that you'll never get back. So it's definitely very expensive to wear weaves as like a long-term hairstyle. So that's one of the cons of weave, in my opinion. Lastly, weaves can cause damage to your edges. I'm pretty sure that if you watch beauty videos on YouTube or Instagram, you see some extremely unfortunate video of a person who all their edges are gone and they claim that it's from weaves and basically the tension on their hairline, and now they have to go take some drastic measure because so much of their edges have fallen out. The reason why I stopped wearing weaves is because of the damage that it did cause to my edges. Now, thankfully, all my edges didn't fall out, but they did become really thin for a time. And now I'm kind of focusing on making sure that I have more healthy hair care, because I was one of the people who did wear weaves for 8 weeks and I would only take my weave out in order to get a touch-up relax from my relaxer. So it definitely did end up causing a lot of damage to my hair. Thankfully my hair is still full and healthy now, but it definitely did cause a lot of damage just because I wasn't really checking on the condition of my hair until I took my weave out. And then at that point I was just like, well, it's good enough because I'm just going to get another weave, so it doesn't matter. But definitely weaves can cause a lot of damage to your hair if they're installed incorrectly. So different kinds of hair conditions means you need different kind of weaves. So do you need a net? Do you need braiding hair added to your braids? You kind of might not want to have tracks too close to your edges because your hair near your edges is already thin. So there's different things you can do to minimize the damage, but for a lot of people, wearing weaves can cause extensive damage to your hair. So it's definitely something that you want to be mindful of if that's the hairstyle that you're choosing to wear, especially for a long period of time. Okay, so now that we've been over the pros and the cons of weaves, I'm going to jump right into U-part wigs. So the way I learned more about U-part wigs is that I had been wearing weaves when I was in college, and it was a really convenient way to have my hair look how I wanted it to look all the time, and not really spend excessive amount of time straightening and curling my natural hair. So around 2013 is when I realized I was starting to have damage to my hair. So I was like, I need to find another way that I can still wear the sleek extension hairstyle but be able to take better care of my natural hair. So I looked into YouTube. I started researching how to grow relaxed hair, all the traditional YouTube searches that people who are struggling with hair look for, and I found out about U-part wigs. There's a lot of people who I'll definitely put some videos in the description box, or you could just search U-part wigs. There's a lot of people who have a lot of information on U-part wigs, on how to make them, who to purchase them from, what you should know before you start to wear them. So I'm just going to give a quick background about the pros and the cons of U-part wigs, just so you can see it as another option as a way to wear hair extensions. I'm going to start off with the pros of U-part wigs. So again, I have my little note paper, so that's what I'm looking down at. So the pros of U-part wigs is that the hair lasts longer. Now this pro is especially for people who invest a lot of money in their hair. So even if you don't also always buy virgin hair, if you buy like saga hair or any kind of hair that is we're looking at the $80, $90 a pack, this is really gonna be speaking to you. And also, like I said, virgin hair people, once you start wearing hair in a weave, each install they're gonna cut it differently. You're gonna have shedding, even if you seal the wefts. The hair is gonna take a lot more wear and tear because you're gonna be sleeping in it. The oil from your sweat and all that good stuff from when you sleep is rubbing inside the weave. One of the benefits of U-part wigs is that you don't have to deal with any of that, because when you go to bed at night, you take the U-part wig off, so all those oils from when you are sweating, even when you work out, you don't have to wear the wig to the gym. All that wear and tear on the weave is taken out of the equation, because the U-part wig, you just take it off and then you don't have to put that unnecessary damage on the hair. By doing that, the hair lasts longer. I've had some U-part wigs where I've had them for going on 4 or 5 years at this point. The hair still looks great. I do store them in a drawer, so they might be like a little rumpled, but all I have to do is finger comb them out, deep condition them, and then the hair looks just like brand new. Also, you're not constantly sewing. Once you sew a weft, you put the needle through the weft sometimes, and as you continue to do that, if you do that for weave after weave after weave, it damages the wefts. They're not as solid anymore. They become really flimsy, and they can even start to tear or lose hair all the way from the weft. So that's something that you don't have to deal with U-part wigs, so your hair lasts longer. So when you do go and spend that $400, $500 on your hair, you have it for a much longer time, so it's saving you money. So definitely one of the benefits of U-part wigs is that the hair lasts a lot longer because you're not sleeping in it and wearing it 24/7. You're able to take it off and let it have that time to rest. Another benefit of U-part wigs, sorry, I'm gonna look faster, is that it's easy to change your style. So with the weave, like I said, you usually keep it for 4 to 6 weeks, maybe even 8 weeks, and for that time you're stuck with that hair. If you have U-part wigs that are different styles, especially if you make all your wigs the same, you can switch them up immediately. So if you have like a short one, you can have blonde, all different colors, and as long as you just keep that little leave out section the same, then you can switch your wig whenever you want. So you definitely get a lot more ability to change, switch it up. For instance, a lot of us, if let's say you're looking for a job but you were wearing your blonde wig right now, U-part wig, you can just take off the blonde, put on the all black if you feel like that's more professional. With the weave, you would kind of just be either stuck with your blonde hair or trying to put it in a bun to hide it, or like try to rinse it, and now it's like a whole situation. So U-part wigs, you definitely get a lot more ability in order to switch up your look that you definitely don't have when you wear weaves. It's easier to style. So when you have a weave, you get that arms are trying to curl in the back. You can't really see what's going on. Get another mirror behind you, that way you can see how you're styling it in the back. U-part wig, if you have a wig head stand, or you can get a wig clamp and clamp it to a table, you can style the wig almost as if you're a hairstylist. So you have a 360-degree view. You can see the back, the sides, the front, any angle, and it makes it so much easier for curling, flat ironing. You won't miss any spots. There won't be like limp curls in the back because you couldn't reach, and it makes it look a lot more beautiful. Access to your real hair, one of the major reasons why I switched from weaves to U-part wigs. Every 2 weeks I could take my wig off, take down my braids, deep condition my hair if my hair needs to be trimmed, if it needs a protein treatment, any kind of situation that I feel like my hair needs to make it healthy, I can address that, because every 2 weeks I'm seeing my real hair. I can do anything that needs to be done, and if I feel like, okay, maybe I need to see a professional right now, I'm not wasting my $175 just because I had to take my weave down to address my real hair. And there are cornrows underneath your U-part wig. You'll see a lot of videos of complicated braids. It doesn't even really need to be that serious. You just need to make sure that your hair is braided neatly and that you're able to put your wig on securely. So you don't even have to do the tiny little braids, because also underneath your wig, that will cause damage to your hair. So access to your hair, making sure it's healthy, making sure it still looks good, definitely one of the pros of U-part wigs. One more pro that I almost forgot about U-part wigs, which is a huge deal. I don't know how this slipped my mind. You can make your own. I think I briefly mentioned it earlier, but with U-part wigs, you can get a Japanese dome cap and sew the hair onto the cap. I'll definitely soon just bring one of my U-part wigs that I made, that way you guys can see it. It's really hard to do a weave on your own head, and most people cannot do that. So that's another kind of disadvantage for weaves. But for U-part wigs, you can make it yourself. It's not that difficult. I'm not a crafty person. I can't draw, paint, sew clothes, or anything like that. But I was able to start making my own U-part wigs, and it's a lot more simple than you really think it is. It is a labor of love and takes a long time, but the steps are simple and you will be able to do it. So that's definitely a way that you could save a lot of money. Some people, they do make U-part wigs as a service and you can pay, but even if you think about that, if you pay $200 to get a U-part wig made, but then you could wear that wig for 2-3 years, it's definitely a lot cheaper than getting a sew-in for $175 that's only going to last 6 weeks. So definitely another pro about U-Part wigs is you save money in terms of getting them made, getting them done, and also you can make them yourself. It's super easy. So another pro for you. Alright, cons for U-Part wigs. They are not secure. So although it will stay on your head, it could be a windy day, you don't have to worry about it coming off, that kind of secure. That is what's going to be for U-Part wigs. So everyday security, you'll be good. But in terms of if you're going to get on like a roller coaster, or like I said, you're doing some kind of extreme sport, or you're like flipping your head around a lot, the back of your wig can start to like lift up. So some people do sew down their U-Part wigs. That's one option, but you definitely want to make sure if you do that, that your wig has extra elasticity and pull to it, because if you pull it tight to sew it, the cap can start to rip while you're wearing it. So you definitely want to test it out first to make sure that you can safely wear the U-Part wig sewn down without causing damage to your own hair, the hair on the wig, and also to the integrity of the cap. But for the most part, I mean, like I said, in terms of everyday, your wig, it's going to be secure enough. You're not going to constantly feel like, oh my gosh, my wig's about to come up. But at the same time, if you're riding a roller coaster ride, or if you're going to the amusement park, you might want to put some hairpins in the back or a couple stitches, because it's not going to necessarily stay on your head if you flip upside down and do all kinds of other craziness with the wig on. So unfortunately, U-Part wigs are not as secure as weaves. Another negative is that not good for active sports, because they're not secure. Like I said, if you're doing a lot, there's a chance that it can come off, because at the end of the day, it's still a wig. So that's another downfall for it. And lastly, another con is that it could cause damage to your hair. So when I show my U-Part wig, I'll point them out, but the U-Part wig has to have some kind of way to attach to your hair. So whether it be combs or plastic combs, metal combs, or if you sew them down, if you constantly put those combs in the same spot, you'll notice like around here, you'll start to have some thinning. So you kind of have to like switch up your part from like center part to side part to the other side part. Just need to make sure that you're not rubbing out your hair in the front with the combs. Also, if you sew down your U-Part wigs, that's a lot of tension on those perimeter braids where the U-Part wig is sewn down to, because the middle of the wig doesn't really have that many stitches in it. It's mostly the perimeter that you sew down. So it's a lot of tension on those braids, and it can cause a lot of damage. So basically, you want to switch it up. You don't want to always constantly wear the same style. I feel like a lot of hairstyles now, if you wear them repetitively, too many braids, too many weaves, too many wigs, in the end it will cause damage. So you definitely just have to be mindful of taking care of your natural hair and trying to check for those certain things. That way you know you're not causing damage to your hair. So for those of you who are watching this video and kind of looking for that definitive answer, like should I wear our weaves better, our U-Part wigs better, I really can't answer that question for you. I feel like it depends on your lifestyle and what you want to do. For me, U-Part wigs are better because I do like the option of being able to switch it up, long, short, blonde, black, brown, and that's just not something that's a possibility with weaves. Also, I do like taking care of and maintaining my hair, deep conditioning, washing it every 2 weeks. And even though you do wash your hair when it's in a weave, it's not the same as taking down your braids and actually looking at your hair strands and seeing how healthy they are. So for me, U-Part wigs right now are the style I'm choosing to wear. I definitely see the benefit of weaves. Like I said, I wore weaves for years, and I don't have anything 100% negative to say about weaves, but I do understand that basically just the logistics of getting weaves done can cause a lot of damage to your hair. So I definitely just wanted to show you guys a U-Part wig. I guess it's not fair because I'm not showing a weave, so I'm one-sided, but you know, it's kind of hard to show what a weave looks like unless you actually have one. And as you can see, I have this super cute braided hairstyle. I really like it, but hope you guys do. But this is a U-Part wig. These are the combs that I was talking about. So let me move to the side a little bit so I could kind of focus a little more. Oh, there we go. That's better. So these are the combs. I do use the metal combs and not the plastic combs. I feel like the plastic, they're sharper, they have less give, and they more easily take your hair out. So I don't use those. I use the plastic ones. So this is the dome cap, as you can see. So basically I have the tracks kind of neatly sewed. I did a good job on this one, I think. And basically we just sew it as a sew-in. It has like a little U. It does stretch out over time, but you can just allow for that by leaving more leave out. That's the bottom of the cap with the strap, and then this is the hair. So basically you keep it sewn on here. It lasts longer. Like I said, it's easy to take care of and it's easy to store. So you don't have to worry about constantly cutting the tracks and them sewing it a different way each time, because the hair kind of just stays on the wig. So another treat that I have for you guys is that one of my other U-part wigs, I took it apart, deconstructed it, and I'm styling it on another wig. So basically the hair is like 14 inches, so I'm just gonna like cut some of the little ends and then maybe a bob, we'll see. But this is what I really wanted you guys to see. This is the U-part wig before I cut it. So I'll take it off and just give you guys a better look. But I just want you to see now, this is the U. So it is a full cap once I first get it. I trace it usually with a white, like whiteout marker thing that I have. And then I sew the rest of the tracks on the wig. And I leave this spot. And the last thing I do is cut that out. So I am going to take the wig off of the mannequin head, just so that way you guys can see. So this is the wig on the inside. So that's the bottom of it. The other wig I showed you guys, you can see that the cap band is a little more stretched out because it's not new. I've had that one for almost a year. And then this is what it looks like before I cut it out. So I'll show you the top again. So that little section where my hand is, where you can see through, and where that band part is, I'm going to cut that all out. And then I'll sew the combs right here and be able to wear it. So just to show you more of what a in-process U-part wig looks like, one day I will eventually make a video that shows my U-part wig making, but like I said, it's a labor of love. I am down to making them in about like 4 or 5 hours. The first one I ever made took me like 12 or 14 hours. But U-part wigs, they're a great tool, I think, to have in your hair wearing toolbox. That way when weaves start to cause too much damage, you can kind of still wear extensions, but give your hair a little bit of a break also. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was informative and helpful for you trying to make your decision. Like I said, maybe I'll make more videos showing me making U-part wigs in the future, because I definitely think they're a great way to wear extension hairstyles. If you have any more questions about U-part wigs or weaves, or my experience, definitely leave a comment below and I'll make sure I respond. Also, make sure you subscribe, that way you can see my other videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.